Okay, today we're talking about estimating products and quotients of decimals. And we remember that products are just the answer to a multiplication problem, and quotients are the answer to a division problem. So let's just start with something kind of easy here. This is a multiplication problem, 6 times 3.52, and we've been asked to estimate the product. Okay, so we're going to draw this little line that's about. The way we estimate a product, what we want to do is we want to round our numbers so we have two whole numbers that we're multiplying together. So the easiest way to do this is round to the nearest whole number. Okay, so 6, well, 6 is already a whole number, so we're not going to do any rounding there. But 3, that's our whole number, but we have a decimal here. So we want to round to the nearest whole number. So the way I teach my class is that we underline the digit that we want to round, the place value, we want to round to the nearest whole number, the nearest one, and we circle the digit to the right of it. Okay. Once we've done that, we take a look at this digit we've circled, and if that number is 5 or greater, then we round up, and if it's 4 or less, then we round down. In this case, it's a 5, so we're going to go ahead and round up, which simply means we're going to change this 3 into a 4. And with the rest of it, we're just going to leave it blank. They change to zeros, 4.00, which we don't even need to write the zeros because they don't have any value in this case. So what we're really left with after we round is 6 times 4. Well, that's pretty simple. 6 times 4 is 24. So the answer to the problem, which is to estimate the product of 6 times 3.52, the answer would be about 24. Now we talked about multiplication yesterday and how to multiply decimals, and if we wanted to, we could actually multiply it out, find the real answer, and make sure that our answer is reasonable. On this first one, let's just do that just for fun. Let's say we have 3.52. We're going to multiply that by 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 6 times 5 is 30. Plus this 1 is 31. Carry the 3. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus these 3, 19, 20, 21, 21. And if you remember, we need to move our decimal place because we have two decimals here. We have this decimal, we have 2 to the right of it. We need to move the decimal 2 places over. So the actual answer is 21.12. Now I think this is a reasonable answer because 24 is a little bit higher, but it's not some crazy number. So 24 is a reasonable answer. So we're going to go ahead and just go with that. Okay, now let's take a look at one more multiplication problem. We're asked to find or estimate the product of 4.6 and 3. Again, we're estimating. That means I'm doing those little squiggly lines that look like the equals. Again, the first thing I want to do is get rid of the decimal, so I'm going to round to make the nearest whole number. I'm going to underline my whole number, circle the 1 to the right of it. Okay, this number is 5 or higher, so I'm going to round up, which will make this 5. And I'm left with 5 times 3 equals 15. So 4.6 times 3 equals about 15. Pretty simple. So multiplication is pretty easy to round. It's pretty straightforward. But what about division? Division is just a little bit trickier. Just like when we round two whole numbers, let's look at how we would estimate whole numbers. What if we had the number 25 divided by, let's say 6. and we were asked to estimate the quotient of 25 and 6. If you remember when we learned about this, we need to find a compatible number to the 6. Okay, so what are the compatible numbers with 6? And we want to round this number to the closest compatible number. Well, let's just list our factors of 6 here. We have 6, and then we have 12, and then 18, 24, and 30. Those are our numbers that are compatible with 6, and it looks like to me the closest one is going to be 24. So I'm going to round 25 to the closest compatible whole number, which is 24. And 24 divided by 6 equals 4. So when the question asks, estimate the quotient of 25 and 6, well, it is about 4. The answer is going to be pretty close to 4. Let's take a look at what that looks like with decimals. Let's take the number 21.05 and divide that by 4. And we're asked to estimate the quotient, which is the answer of a division problem. Estimate the quotient of 21.05 and 4. Okay, again, we want to round this to a whole number and get rid of the decimal. But the whole number, we don't want to round it just to any whole number. We want to round it to a whole number that's going to be compatible with the number 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and list out the numbers, the whole numbers that are compatible with 4. Let's see, we just count by 4s. 4, 8, 16, 24, or sorry, I skipped one there. 20, I skipped a couple. Man, I'm horrible at this. Let's try this again. 4, 8, 12, there we go, that's a little bit better. 16, 20, 24, okay, I think we've gone far enough because we're looking to round this number right here, 21. And it looks like to me the closest number, so right now we're not even taking into account this decimal because we don't care. We're going to round it to the nearest whole number that is compatible with the other divisor here. So the closest number I have to 24 that's compatible with 4, well, is it 20 or 24? 21 is closer to 20. So I'm going to round this number, 21.05, I'm going to round that to the whole number, 20. And I'm going to divide that by 4. And 20 divided by 4 equals 5. So that's how I would estimate the quotient. So it's not too difficult. It's similar to the multiplication, except for we're not just rounding to the whole number. We're rounding to the whole number that is compatible with the number of our divisor. Let's look at one more real quick, and then we'll let you to it here. We're asked to estimate the quotient of 79.41 and 11. Again, we're estimating, so we want the about answer. Okay, and again, we want to get rid of the decimal and turn this right here into a whole number. But not just any whole number, it needs to be a compatible whole number. So let's think about it. What are some of the numbers that are going to be compatible with 11? Well, let's list them out. We got 11, 22, 33. We got ourselves a nice little pattern going on here. 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, and I think we've gone far enough. Okay, So we take a look at this number 79.41. And I'm going to focus in on this number 79. I know 79 is going to fit somewhere right in here. And I need to decide, is it closer to 77 or 88? And the answer, it is a little bit closer to 77. So that's what I'm going to round this number to. I'm going to take 79.41. I'm going to round that to 77. And I'm going to divide that by 11. And that's going to equal 7. So 79.41 divided by 11 is about 7. Okay, so that's your video for estimating products and quotients of decimals. If you're not sure you understand, you can go ahead and just rewind this, watch this once or twice more, however many times you need to. We'll see you tomorrow.